Electrolytes. What's all the talk with electrolytes lately? I feel like they're everywhere. There's brands popping up left and right. But do you really need electrolytes? Today I'm going to get to the truth of the matter. So electrolytes. Electrolytes are minerals. When we talk about electrolytes, we are referring directly to minerals. Okay? Electrolytes are also considered to be the breath of life. Okay? When you have electrical charge in your body, the capacity to perform work and to function is governed by these minerals, also known as electrolytes. So electrolytes also hold water in. The vast majority of our body is water, and to hold things in, we need electrolytes. When we are dehydrated especially, we need to replenish minerals and electrolytes. What are some of the most dehydrating activities? Obviously, exercise, fitness, sweating. A mineral deficiency leads to a lack of life. Like I said earlier, minerals are the breath of life, so deficiency obviously leads to a lack of life. Cells are like batteries in your body. There's a difference between sodium and potassium across the membrane of a cell, and that acts like a battery. That creates a charge between the two. That pump actually creates a charge, and there's an electrical voltage throughout your body as a result of the voltage dip. Minerals, where do we get minerals from? A lot of people ask that. So minerals come from your produce. They're going to be in fruits, vegetables. They're found there in abundance. But nowadays, they're just not as prevalent because the soil quality, it's depleting us of our minerals. The modern farming practices have depleted us of a lot of the nutrients in our soil, as well as minerals especially. Protein in different meats. Protein in itself is very rich in sulfur, which is a mineral that we need. However, there's a lot of more trace minerals that you can find in organ meats and beef, veal, and other meats, but also from added salt. Okay, sea salt, that is a mineral. That's an electrolyte. When you consume Himalayan pink salt, when you consume these things, they're loaded with minerals. The sea salt that I have has 84 minerals along with the salt, so that's tremendous. That's a great supply of minerals. So what depletes us the most? Obviously is exercise. We lose a lot of minerals in sweat. Processed foods are very depleting. A sugary and high carb diet where there's major fluctuations in your glucose and insulin, that's going to deplete us, as well as ding ding ding, Americans, we love our caffeine and our coffee, and that's going to certainly deplete us of minerals tremendously. If you have multiple cups of coffee a day, you really need to be replenishing these minerals. Three outside of sodium that are majorly needed as electrolytes for hydration, and that would be sodium, chloride, potassium, and magnesium. So finding some sort of electrolyte blend that mixes all these together is best case scenario, most importantly if you're an athlete. So after exercising or prior to or during, it's really important to drink electrolyte water. This should have about 1,000 milligrams of sodium within 20 to 24 ounces of fluid. That's going to replace 30 to 60 minutes of sweating. Some people sweat more, some people sweat less. So this number is variable. You almost have to feel it out. But that's a general recommendation for most people. And a lot of people feel better when they're consuming that. I don't even always use a store-bought electrolyte. What I do is sometimes just mix a solid amount of actual sea salt and just mix that into my water, shake that up, and it's like drinking seawater. It's like drinking the ocean, but I feel much more vibrant. I feel like I have more energy, the more ability to exercise. So it works well. We need salt. We need to stop being afraid of salt. Optimal salt intake throughout the day is 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams of optimal salt intake. We got to remember that real sea salt is rich in sodium, but also other minerals and trace minerals. That also includes Celtic sea salt, true salt, the salt flats that we find on the west coast of the United States. Those are comparable to the Himalayan pink salt. But when you have table salt, which you just get normally from the salt shaker, that's considered a highly processed food. Okay, it's been broken down. It has to go through this process. It's extremely processed, and it's not in its original form with all of the trace minerals in it that you would find in sea salt, Himalayan pink, etc. So what's with should I be afraid of salt? I'm not sure. That's a great question. Fear of salt and blood pressure. There has been a correlation of increased salt intake means increased blood pressure and risk of hypertension. But the equation here, in truth, is a high salt diet, which is mainly processed salt from our foods and just like that junky table salt, plus a high carbohydrate diet rich in processed foods, high glycemic, high inflammatory foods. Add in there some inflammatory seed oils like peanut oil, sunflower oil, vegetable oils, something that we're getting in most of our snacks and pastries and breads nowadays. That's where the concern is for high blood pressure. We don't need to be so afraid of salt. Salt is so essential for life. It's been demonized for a long time. All of a sudden, you start increasing your salt intake to a healthy level, along with a diet rich in meat and vegetables. You feel a heck of a lot better. It's quite remarkable. So, with real salt, as a general rule, you can consume it to taste. I'm talking like the Himalayan pink salt, that Celtic sea salt, etc. The body regulates way better your salt consumption when you're actually consuming a whole salt that has all these trace minerals in it. It's easier to balance out the salt that way. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this brief presentation on salt. Hope you learned something. Overall, salt is something that's vital for life. It's vital for us to feel energized. It's vital for the electrical capacity within our body. So therefore, being afraid of salt, actually, it's not a good thing for us. If you're someone who has hypertension, then there is a chance that you are going to be sensitive to salt intake. And a majority of people with hypertension are sensitive to salt intake. But for the average person who's active, salt and electrolyte replenishment and mineral replenishment is vital. It's important, and there's no reason to be afraid of it. Thank you for watching.